Countervail, to offset. Counting house, a house or office used for transacting business, bookkeeping, correspondence, etc. Countryman, a rustic. Courageous, brave. Course, line of motion or direction. Courser, a fleet and spirited horse. Courtesy, politeness originating in kindness and exercised habitually. Covenant, an agreement entered into by two or more persons or parties. Covert, concealed, especially for an evil purpose. Covey, a flock of quails or partridges. Cower, to crouch down tremblingly, as through fear or shame. Coxswain, one who steers a rowboat or one who has charge of a ship's boat and its crew under an officer. Crag, a rugged, rocky projection on a cliff or ledge. Cranium, the skull of an animal, especially that part enclosing the brain. Crass, coarse or thick in nature or structure, as opposed to thin or fine. Craving, a vehement desire. Creak, a sharp, harsh, squeaking sound. Creamery, a butter-making establishment. Creamy, resembling or containing cream. Credence, belief. Credible, believable. Credulous, easily deceived. Creed, a formal summary of fundamental points of religious belief. Crematory, a place for cremating dead bodies. Crevasse, a deep crack or fissure in the ice of a glacier. Crevice, a small fissure as between two contiguous surfaces. Criterion, a standard by which to determine the correctness of a judgment or conclusion. Critique, a criticism or critical review. Crockery, earthenware made from baked clay. Crucible, a trying and purifying test or agency. Crusade, any concerted movement vigorously prosecuted in behalf of an idea or principle. Crustacean, pertaining to a division of arthropods containing lobsters, crabs, crawfish, etc. Crustaceous, having a crust-like shell. Cryptogram, anything written in characters that are secret or so arranged as to have hidden meaning. Crystallize, to bring together or give fixed shape to. Cudgel, a short, thick stick used as a club. Culinary, of or pertaining to cooking or the kitchen. Cull, to pick or sort out from the rest. Culpable, guilty. Culprit, a guilty person. Culvert, any artificial covered channel for the passage of water through a bank or under a road, canal. Cupidity, avarice. Curable, capable of being remedied or corrected. Curator, a person having charge as of a library or museum. Curio, a piece of bric-a-brac. Cursive, writing in which the letters are joined together. Cursory, rapid and superficial. Curt, concise, compressed, and abrupt in act or expression. Curtail, to cut off or cut short. Curtsy, a downward movement of the body by bending the knees. Cycloid, like a circle. Cygnet, a young swan. Cynical, exhibiting moral skepticism. Cynicism, contempt for the opinions of others and of what others value. Cynosure, that to which general interest or attention is directed. Daring, brave. Darkling, blindly. Darwinism, the doctrine that natural selection has been the prime cause of evolution of higher forms. Dastard, a base coward. Datum, a premise, starting point, or given fact. Dauntless, fearless. Daemon, a day laborer. Dead heat, a race in which two or more competitors come out even and there is no winner. Dearth, scarcity as of something customary, essential, or desirable. Death's head, a human skull as a symbol of death. Debase, to lower in character or virtue. Debatable, subject to contention or dispute. Debonair, having gentle or courteous bearing or manner. Debut, a first appearance in society or on the stage. Decagon, a figure with 10 sides and 10 angles. Decagram, a weight of 10 grams. Decaliter, a liquid and dry measure of 10 liters. Decalogue, the 10 Commandments. Decent, characterized by propriety of conduct, speech, manners, or dress. Deciduous, falling off at maturity as petals after flowering, fruit when ripe, etc. Decimal, founded on the number 10. Decimate, to destroy a measurable or large proportion of. Decipher, to find out the true words or meaning of, as something hardly legible. Decisive, conclusive. Declamation, a speech recited or intended for recitation from memory in public. Declamatory, a full and formal style of utterance. Declarative, containing a formal, positive, or explicit statement or affirmation. Declension, the change of endings in nouns and adjectives to express their different relations of gender. Decorate, to embellish. Decorous, suitable for the occasion or circumstances. Decoy, anything that allures or is intended to allure into danger or temptation. Decrepit, enfeebled as by old age or some chronic infirmity. Dedication, the voluntary consecration or relinquishment of something to an end or cause. Deduce, to derive or draw as a conclusion by reasoning from given premises or principles. Deface, to mar or disfigure the face or external surface of. Defalcate, to cut off or take away as a part of something. Defamation, malicious and groundless injury done to the reputation or good name of another. Defame, to slander. Default, the neglect or omission of a legal requirement. Defendant, a person against whom a suit is brought. Defensible, capable of being maintained or justified. Defensive, carried on in resistance to aggression. Defer, to delay or put off to some other time. Deference, respectful submission or yielding as to another's opinion, wishes, or judgment. Defiant, characterized by bold or insolent opposition. Deficiency, lack or insufficiency. Deficient, not having an adequate or proper supply or amount. Definite, having an exact signification or positive meaning. Deflect, to cause to turn aside or downward. Deforest, to clear of forests. Deform, to disfigure. Deformity, a disfigurement. Defraud, to deprive of something dishonestly. Defray, to make payment for. Degeneracy, a becoming worse. Degenerate, to become worse or inferior. Degradation, diminution as of strength or magnitude. Degrade, to take away honors or position from. Dehydrate, to deprive of water. Deify, to regard or worship as a god. Deign, to deem worthy of notice or account. Deist, one who believes in God but denies supernatural revelation. Deity, a god, goddess, or divine person. Deject, to dishearten. Dejection, melancholy. Delectable, delightful to the taste or to the senses. Delectation, a delight. Deleterious, hurtful morally or physically. Delicacy, that which is agreeable to a fine taste. Delineate, to represent by sketch or diagram. Deliquesce, to dissolve gradually and become liquid by absorption of moisture from the air. Delirious, raving. Delude, to mislead the mind or judgment of. Deluge, to overwhelm with a flood of water. Delusion, mistaken conviction, especially when more or less enduring. Demagnetize, to deprive, a magnet, of magnetism. Demagogue, an unprincipled politician. Demeanor, deportment. Demented, insane. Demerit, a mark for failure or bad conduct. Demise, death. Demobilize, to disband as troops. Demolish, to annihilate. Demonstrable, capable of positive proof. Demonstrate, to prove indubitably. Demonstrative, inclined to strong exhibition or expression of feeling or thoughts. Demonstrator, one who proves in a convincing and conclusive manner. Demulcent, any application soothing to an irritable surface. Demurrage, the detention of a vessel beyond the specified time of sailing. Dendroid, like a tree. Dendrology, the natural history of trees. Denizen, inhabitant. Denominate, to give a name or epithet to. Denomination, a body of Christians united by a common faith and form of worship and discipline. Denominator, part of a fraction which expresses the number of equal parts into which the unit is divided. Denote, to designate by word or mark. Denouement, that part of a play or story in which the mystery is cleared up. Denounce, to point out or publicly accuse as deserving of punishment, censure, or odium. Dentifrice, any preparation used for cleaning the teeth. Denude, to strip the covering from. Denunciation, the act of declaring an action or person worthy of reprobation or punishment. Deplete, to reduce or lessen as by use, exhaustion, or waste. Deplorable, contemptible. Deplore, to regard with grief or sorrow. Deponent, laying down. Depopulate, to remove the inhabitants from. Deport, to take or send away forcibly as to a penal colony. Deportment, demeanor. Deposition, testimony legally taken on interrogations and reduced to writing for use as evidence in court. Depositor, one who makes a deposit or has an amount deposited. Depository, a place where anything is kept in safety. Deprave, to render bad, especially morally bad. Deprecate, to express disapproval or regret for, with hope for the opposite. Depreciate, to lessen the worth of. Depreciation, a lowering in value or an underrating in worth. Depress, to press down. Depression, a falling of the spirits. Depth, deepness. Derelict, neglectful of obligation. Deride, to ridicule. Derisible, open to ridicule. Derision, ridicule. Derivation, that process by which a word is traced from its original root or primitive form and meaning. Derivative, coming or acquired from some origin. Derive, to deduce as from a premise. Dermatology, the branch of medical science which relates to the skin and its diseases. Derrick, an apparatus for hoisting and swinging great weights. Descendant, one who is descended lineally from another, as a child, grandchild, etc. Descendant, proceeding downward.